Some houses remember more than the people who live in them. They remember footsteps that no longer exist. They remember doors that were never supposed to open. And sometimes they remember you. This story was sent to me by a man who asked to remain anonymous. He said he never believed in the paranormal until the night his house showed him a door that was never there before. I moved into the house in late autumn. It was old, quiet, and cheaper than it should have been. The real estate agent told me it had character. I later realized she meant history. The first few weeks were normal. The floors creaked, the pipes whispered at night. Nothing unusual. Until I noticed something strange in the hallway. There was a door, a narrow wooden door at the very end of the corridor. I was certain it wasn't there before. I checked my photos from the day I moved in. The hallway ended with a wall, no door. But now, it was there. I didn't open it at first. I told myself it was stress. Maybe I just never noticed it before. But every night, I could hear something behind it, a soft sound, like breathing, not loud, not aggressive, just present. On the third night, I placed my hand on the handle. It was cold, colder than the rest of the house. And when I finally opened it, there was nothing inside, just a dark, narrow space. No walls, no floor, no ceiling, only darkness. I closed the door and tried to forget. The next morning, the door was gone. The wall was back. Smooth, solid, like it had never existed. That night, I woke up to the sound of breathing. But this time, it wasn't behind a door. It was inside my room. I never saw the door again. But sometimes, when I turn off the lights, I can feel it behind me, waiting. If you ever see a door in your house that wasn't there before, don't open it. Because some doors don't lead anywhere. They lead to you. After that night, I avoided the hallway. I walked past it without looking. I kept my eyes on the floor because even though the door was gone, I could still feel where it used to be, like a memory burned into the wall. I touched the surface once, just once. It felt warmer than the rest of the house. Not cold, not normal, almost alive. I told myself it was nothing, but I started measuring the hallway. I measured it again and again, and every time, the wall was slightly shorter than it should have been, by just a few centimeters, not enough to see, but enough to know. Something was missing. One evening, I placed a chair in front of the wall, and I sat there for hours, waiting. Nothing happened until I stood up and noticed a thin line in the paint. So thin, it only appeared when the light hit it from the side. A vertical line, exactly where the door used to be. I ran my finger along it. The surface felt softer there. Not broken, just thinner, like the wall was pretending to be solid. That night, I dreamed about the hallway, but in the dream, the door was open, and I was standing inside it, not in front of it, inside. There was no room, no space, no direction, only the feeling that I was standing in the wrong place of reality. I woke up with my hand pressed against the wall, exactly where the door had been. The paint was warm and slightly wet, like something had just passed through it. I moved out a week later, not because I was afraid of the house, but because I realized the house was no longer the one afraid of me. If you ever see a door appear where there shouldn't be one, don't wait for it to disappear, because some doors don't close. They only pretend to become walls. And one day, they remember how to open again. I thought leaving the house would end everything. I believed distance could erase what I had seen, what I had touched, what I had measured. The new place felt normal, too normal. White walls, straight corners, doors exactly where they should be. I counted them. 3 in the hallway, 1 in the bedroom, 1 in the bathroom. All of them real, all of them solid. For the first time in weeks, I slept without thinking about walls, without measuring space, without imagining openings, until I noticed something small, something I almost ignored. The hallway in the new apartment felt longer at night. Not by much, not enough to notice during the day, but enough to feel like the darkness needed more room than the walls allowed. I stood at one end and looked toward the other. The far wall looked flatter, smoother, cleaner than the rest. I told myself it was just paint, just light, just imagination. But I had told myself that before. I didn't touch it, not at first. I walked past it every night, slowly, carefully, like you walk past something that might wake up. One night, I placed a piece of tape on the floor, right where I felt the space begin to change. The next morning, the tape was still there, but it was folded, not torn, not removed, folded, as if something had passed over it, without leaving the wall. That was when I understood. The door was never attached to the house. It was attached to me, not as a shape, not as wood, not as a handle, but as a possibility. A place where reality forgets how to stay closed. I don't wait for doors anymore. I watch walls. I measure shadows. I avoid empty corners, because I know now the door doesn't appear when you look for it. It appears when it decides you are ready. And when it does, it won't look like a door. It will look like part of your home, until you realize your home has learned how to open you.